increase in overdoses on the east side has gotten the attention of health officials and an organization tasked to prevent them. Logan Gay spoke with Overdose Lifeline about what they plan to do in hopes of decreasing those numbers. And Logan, can you tell us what part of the east side is actually impacted the most?
Well, Felicia, they're seeing the highest numbers on the Near East Side in the 46201 zip code area. And they say they can't wait for people to reach out. They have to meet them where they are.
Just like the seasons, drug overdose rates can constantly change. But this time they're going up on the east side.
As the weather warms up, as people are more social and might be recreationally using substances more or anything like that, we do see an increase in overdose events here in Indianapolis, usually in the warmer months.
This map from the Marion County Public Health Department shows the zip codes where Indianapolis EMS made the most naloxone runs and how many doses administered. As you can see, EMS responded heavily to the 46201 area. Overdose Lifeline uses information like this to alert them of an overdose spike in a community.
If there is a cluster of overdose events in one area, that could signify that there's something going on in that area, such as a contaminated batch of a substance or such as a disruption in the drug market that's leading to increased risk of overdose.
Something that can happen in any community.
All it takes is one time for naloxone not to be available or EMS not to arrive at the scene in a timely manner, and that could be the end of someone's life, unfortunately.
This is why she says Overdose Lifeline provides resources, not only for people with substance use disorders, but also their family and neighbors. They plan to tackle the issue head on and be in the 46201 community on Friday and saturate it with free naloxone and test strips.
It affects all of the family and, of course, the extended community as well. Communities are hurting right now because they're losing loved ones to substance use.
Although the naloxone is free, it did come at a price. The Overdose Lifeline founder, Justin Phillips, lost her son, Aaron, in 2014 to a heroin overdose. Thursday is a 10-year anniversary of Aaron's law being signed into law by former Governor Pence.
Administer overdose intervention drugs in the future,
Thus giving everyone access to naloxone without a prescription.
It definitely has evolved into a legacy of love and compassion and harm reduction and really caring for everybody as individuals.
So the Overdose Lifeline Chariot team will be passing out naloxone and talking with neighbors tomorrow from 2 to 4 at the Westminster Neighborhood Services. If you can't make that, they can also send you free naloxone and test strips. For more information about that, you can visit our website.
All good information. Thank you so much. And winds and heavy rain actually return tomorrow. And tonight we're working to pinpoint the timing of a severe storm threat. Angela, can you share with us what we can expect?
This time tomorrow, Felicia, through the early part of Saturday. So what that means for our Friday, warm, windy, and you are going to have a good part of tomorrow dry ahead of that severe storm threat. Here is your Friday forecast, hour by hour, a really mild start, 60 at 7 a.m. Forecasting highs at 80 degrees. We are under that threat of severe weather. For most of us, this is a level 2 threat out of 5. Future track 13, pretty quiet through the afternoon and evening hours. That's 7 p.m. But I mentioned this time tomorrow, this is when we expect some storms to start to cross the state line, and then it gets soggy and stormy for much of Saturday. I'll continue the timeline, have the full weekend forecast in a few minutes.
And I see the guy like get out and he has like a rifle that he's kind of waving around.
Traumatic moments on the campus of Florida State University. A gunman opening fire, killing at least 2 people and injuring 6 others. Now, the 20-year-old stepson of a sheriff's deputy is in custody. Tonight, Riley Phillips is in Tallahassee digging into how all of this unfolded and why.
Law enforcement providing a clearer picture of the events surrounding Thursday's deadly shooting at Florida State University. According to FSU Police Chief Jason Trumbauer, the suspect opened fire near the student union around 11:50 in the morning, shooting multiple people.
FSU police responded immediately engaged, neutralized, and apprehended the shooter.
The suspect has been identified as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, a student at Florida State. His stepmother, a deputy with the Leon County Sheriff's Office. Leon County Sheriff Walt McNeil confirmed the gun used in the shooting is believed to be her personal firearm.
He has been steeped in the Leon County Sheriff's Office family, engaged in a number of training programs that we have. So it's not a surprise to us that he had access to weapons.
Eichner was also a member of the Youth Advisory Council for the Sheriff's Office when he was in high school. Investigators were not aware of any threats or behavioral concerns prior to the shooting. Eichner was taken to the hospital for treatment. Law enforcement officers did not provide any more information on the two people who were killed or the other victims who were injured. FSU President Richard McCullough was emotional during Thursday's press conference, providing this message of hope to the Florida State community.
We're a strong and united community. We're family. And so we'll take care of all of you. And we'll get through this together.
That was Riley Phillips reporting. According to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, the 6 people injured in the shooting are now in fair condition. And there's a growing memorial on campus tonight. The university canceled classes for the rest of the week and canceled home athletic events through Sunday. A U.S. District Court judge just denied the ACLU's request aimed at protecting 7 international students in Indiana. So the students attend Purdue, IU, Indianapolis, and Notre Dame. The ACLU of Indiana says their lawful status was terminated without explanation, and it asked the court for a temporary restraining order. As we have reported, the ACLU of Indiana sued the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, claiming the agency violated the Federal Administrative Procedure Act and the students' rights to due process. The ACLU is now considering its options. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett tonight applauding the passage of a road funding bill at the Indiana State House. So the city could get a big funding boost if House Bill 1461 is signed into law. Well, the legislation reworks how money is distributed. Under this current law, road funding is based on how long roads are. But this new bill says some funding would be based on how wide a road is. In other words, how many lanes does the road have? That means Marion County could see up to $50 million in grants to fund road work. And we got a statement from Mayor Hogsett. Here's what it says in part. I believe cities and counties with more lane miles should receive more funding because lane miles are tied to the traffic in a community. This bill moves closer to that idea. Here's a quick look at other stories making headlines right now. Tonight, one person is dead after a shooting on the southwest side of Indianapolis. It happened around 1:30 this afternoon near Moore Street and Belmont Avenue. Police say they found the person shot behind a bus stop. He died at the hospital. Officers detained a person near the crime scene. We're working now to learn if that person is connected. A man is now under arrest linked to a police chase that ended in a deadly crash. The pursuit started Monday in Henry County with a person accused of driving recklessly. The driver ended up in Indy, near Washington and Mithofer. Investigators say he crashed the car. 1 person died. 3 others were hurt. The suspect faces multiple preliminary charges. Now, police in Indianapolis confirmed 2 people are under arrest as part of a drug investigation. Police say they seized thousands of grams of drugs, including suspected meth, fentanyl, and marijuana. Police say they also found guns and $34,000 in cash. And the former Scott County, Indiana sheriff is now facing allegations tied to the case against former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Knoll. Police arrested Kenneth Hughbanks this morning. He's accused of tax evasion as part of the investigation into Knoll. Court documents reveal Hughbanks failed to report more than $200,000 in income tax. They also say Knoll paid Hughbanks for consulting work using Clark County Sheriff's Office jail commissary funds. Remember, you can find all the latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app.